So we're now on our way over to speak to the team at Neat. Neat just recently got a new CEO, Javed, ex-Cisco gentleman, very, very smart man. We'll probably have a conversation with him for a little bit. And they've just started shipping their Board 32 and their new touch panel, and they've got a strategy about moving a lot of technology over to the edge, which they're going to start going forward with. So I want to have a conversation with them about all of that. Let's hear what they have to say. I am with Javed Khan.
Hello, how are you?
CEO of Neat. I can't say new CEO because we interviewed you when it was like before a week it was announced.
That's right, yeah.
So you've been on the job now, what, 2 months, 3 months?
Almost 3 months now.
3 months.
But yeah, it's been a lot of fun.
Was it a good choice? You like being there?
It was a fantastic choice. I'm even more excited about the choice I made. So it's been a great time, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that's the friendly conversation that's over.
Yeah.
No more friendly stuff. Okay, so you made some announcements at the show, so let's go over those first of all. This we're looking at right behind us right now is intelligent framing, which is the idea, if I've got it right, that of all the different ways we could have set rooms up, that's an interaction that was unnecessary. The room should be smart enough to know what's needed, and that's your way of doing that, correct?
Yes, I think the distributed intelligent architecture that Neat has is allowing us to build the next generation of layouts, right? So up until now, the industry has done a pretty good job of things like best fit or sending more than one stream. Increasingly, that's not scaling. So when you have 15 people in the room, you can't really send 15 streams. So we've come up using AI, a way to come up with better options to send to the far end. For example, you can send a bird's eye view, but pick the 4 or 5 most interesting people in the room. But AI allows you, using cues, to detect what the far end might be interested in looking at. So that's what we are starting to do. Our distributed architecture allows each of the cameras to make some of those decisions. And that's an early version of that we'll be shipping later this year.
Well, there's also the idea that you don't want people to have to walk into the room and know anything other than their subject matter. The room should be smart enough to do what the room needs to do, and we should just be talking about what we know. So no camera settings, no mic settings, no ceiling settings. The intelligence should be in the system.
Yeah, that's right. We found out that there is no static rule that you could set up front to focus on, a certain structure or a certain set of people. Some of the cues in the room, what people are saying, whom they are looking at, their reactions, actually should drive that decision in real time. And that's where AI today, running on the edge, allows you to make some of those decisions. So super excited about where we can take this, and that's really the value we add to the existing Zoom and the Microsoft Teams and the Google ecosystem that we support. We add this extra layer on top of what the platform can already provide.
And I'm apologizing because of all the noise in the crowds. People will hear each other because of the mics we're using, but you are getting people walking and crossing and running, because this is a very busy booth. You've got a lot of people very interested coming in for tours, looking at the products. Neat is a very popular product.
It is. I'm super excited about, this is my first InfoComm as a Neat employee, and it's just amazing the number of people, and we've got some cool stuff to show off. So,
and honestly, I'm everybody knows me. I'm a blunt, honest guy. You guys are in the back end. I don't know who you angered to be in the actual deepest part of the hall, and you're still getting crowds here as if you were in the front lobby. It's amazing.
It's right next to the drop-off, so it's actually strategically
it's pretty good. Okay,
yep.
And you get some.
You don't have to walk all the way. Yes.
Okay, so let's talk strategically for a minute about edge. You've talked about moving processing to the edge for a number of the statements you've made since you joined. I've written a couple of articles about the idea of what is the edge, and cloud is not going to be the answer to everything, it's edge. You've got some of that intelligence now, but you've mentioned that's kind of clearly the direction you're going in. Can you expound on that just a little bit? Like, what could we expect to see going forward?
Yeah, so there's 2 important reasons, actually, that beyond just doing things at the edge, right? So number one, latency. So there are certain use cases where you can't wait for the delay to get a response back. Transcripts you want after the meeting, you could do that in the cloud, works. A real-time conversation, you want to do more at the edge, right? So that's one. Second is privacy and cost. So privacy, because some conversations, some decisions, you do want to have the option to not leave the room. Right, so that's the second reason for doing that. Actually, the intelligent layouts that I talked about, another example of a real-time decision that has to be made on the edge. Otherwise, the experience doesn't quite work. And then there's a cost benefit to it too. You're running powerful compute in the rooms. You don't really want to be burning GPU cycles, paying for it. That's an expensive cost.
And the bandwidth for it as well.
And the bandwidth for it. I think nowadays it's the GPU that gets in the way, right? Yeah. So by offloading some of the inference to these devices, we believe we can also optimize the cost, the overall cost structure. So we want to work with our partners here to see if that's a possibility going forward.
So don't tell me anything NDA. I wouldn't ask that question, but what can we see going forward? What are the directions that you're going in with Neat? Is it more products? Is it more pieces? Is it more intelligence?
Yeah,
is it all of it?
So I think obviously we've got our portfolio. We'll continue to make that better. So you'll see newer hardware from us, right? Neat's a relatively young company. We continue to improve our portfolio. So better solutions for our large rooms.
Relatively young company that's doing gangbusters in terms of earnings for the numbers that we've seen. I know you don't reveal them publicly, but
I know that's been one of my pleasant surprises coming in, is how well the business is doing, and that's a great place to be because it allows us to invest. But expect that we will continue to add to our hardware and software portfolio. But in addition to that, what you can expect from us is additional experiences outside of the conference room, right? So the room gets used for so many other use cases, right? You're sitting in there having a conversation, brainstorming. How can we help with those conversations? You're seeing some of our partners do that, right? So Microsoft's making announcements today that extend beyond the immediate online meeting. So expect that Neat will play and will help enable those kinds of experiences. And then the rooms also have very powerful intelligent sensors that can help improve the workplace experience. So expect more around that. We are showing off an MCP server on the booth today, which is an example of what's possible with AI when agents actually get access to that data. So the ability to have a conversational interface about how your conference rooms are doing, what's available, what's the quality of the experience in these rooms. You can now expose that through your favorite agent, and that to me is a practical application of what AI can really do, which actually makes my lives better, right? Whether I'm an administrator or an end user. So.
When is the next time we get news from you guys? Do you have a news cycle in mind at this point, or listen for September, listen for January, listen for the next ISE? Any idea?
So obviously we'll always be at these events, but we've got an analyst event later in the year, so you'll be hearing more about that, most likely in November, and expect the next revision of some of these announcements at that time. I'm super excited about what the team's building.
Terrific. Chab, it's always a pleasure. Great to see you in person. So those are some great insights from Javed, and Neat is definitely a company to keep an eye on with the products that they've announced and with the direction that they plan on going in. The whole idea of modularity, the whole idea of moving intelligence to the edge and sharing that intelligence across multiple pieces is a strategy that I think is going to make sense for them going forward.